Yo, what's up? So this is a video what I'm talking about why you need a ND filter, why you need to use ND view filter. Okay, so as you can see, apparently my face now is totally blown up. Maybe I pull the light more nearer to me. Okay, you see. So to eliminate this problem, you have few choices. Okay, either you can bring up your shutter speed up, or what you can do is you bring up your apertures just to increase my aperture until it reach to my face can be seen. Okay, I think this is on 5.6 aperture, but as you know, the aperture increase, my background blur will be disappear as soon as now this is not a hard light from like a sun. If you have a sunlight shining on your face, it might require to f11 aperture just to cut down those strong light, harsh light to your face and explode correctly, but you will lose the background blur, especially using a prime lens like 1.4, 1.8. Okay, that's the issue. So the next thing I want to do is I get back to my normal aperture, which is 2.8. Okay, I'm using a Tamron, so the biggest aperture I have is 2.8. So back to 2.8. As you can see now, my face is totally overexposed, and this is not a good thing. And yeah, by the way, I'm shooting in 24 frames, so my shutter speed is double up, so which is 50 I have. So this is the 180 rules that you need to follow. So I said this is no right or wrong, but if you have it, then you have this kind of motion blur. As you can see right now, the motion is quite blur, but I don't think you can see anything. Okay, let me increase the shutter speed and see how it looks like. So I increase my shutter speed to, okay, just to compensate. Yeah, I up my shutter speed to 250 per second. So now I try again. Okay, what does this will affect is your motion blur. It will be gone. Okay, yes, you can preserve your aperture, but your motion blur will definitely be gone. It will be something look like this and very clunky, as you can see. Is it a lot of fingers? You can see just now you have a motion blur. Okay, so let me tune down a bit back to the 50th of a second. See, yep. So what does the ND filter does is to fix your shutter speed and your aperture. So how that will do is to cut down the light come to the lens. So this is the ND filter. Now I gotta apply on it, and I will fix pretty much all the things will be the same, which is 1/50th of a second on the shutter speed, and the aperture maintain at 2.8, and I will tune down the apertures. So let me put it on. Just give me some time. So this is having my ND on, but still slightly overexposed. So what I'm having here is the variable ND. So I can tune down a bit until the correct exposure I have in S-Log3. So what's the number I'm looking at is a 1.7 plus EV. Let me tune down a bit. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention one thing. My ISO is on base 640. There you go. So now you have it. A 0.7 EV exposure, my face is correctly exposed, and my background blur, I'm still retain it, and my motion blur still have it right here. Of course, you don't need an ND filter when you are shooting 120 frame or more, because you need to have every details. If you shoot lower than that, you might not have your details in slow motion. So when to use an ND filter, when you want to shoot at normal frame rate, like such as 24, 25 to 30, or maybe even 50 to 60, you still need to maintain some motion blur. You have it. Otherwise, you can go it your way. You can go for aperture priority, so let the shutter speed fly, or you can go with shutter priority which let your aperture fly. So there's no right or wrong. Everyone just how they do their videos, and this is one of my way just to maintain a good balance between shutter speed and the aperture, the motion blur and the background blur. So this is for today, and this is a guide, a simple guide talking about wearable ND filters. So thank you.